All right, welcome to the stream, everyone. Okay, I'm so excited. We've got new stuff for you. We've got new features. We've got our first incursion, which we're going to show you a bunch of stuff on very, very soon. I've got lead game designer Matthias Carlson here with me. I've also got game director Peter Manafelt. My name's Hamish, and you're watching The Special Report. All right, welcome, guys.
Thank you.
How you doing?
Thank you.
All right. Oh my God, I'm so excited.
Good.
I can't keep it.
Yeah.
Can't keep it together. This is. I've been looking forward to this for such a long time. So, yes, you guys ready to get into it? All the good stuff.
Absolutely.
Because we have not been able to talk about much stuff for a while, but this is we got some cool things. All right, for the people at home who don't know these lovely two men sitting on my right, Matthias, can you tell people at home a little bit about yourself?
I'm Matthias.
Fantastic. Nailed it.
Also Matthias
Good
Carlson, lead game designer on The Division.
Yep.
What else can I tell?
You, how long have you been here at Massive?
Oh, I'm part of the interior almost 10 years, give or take.
Nice. So
Yeah.
that would be World in Conflict type
exactly.
times.
First game was World in Conflict, yeah.
Nice. All right.
And
And
I worked.
what about you, Peter?
So I'm Petter, the game director on The Division. I've been here for roughly 10 years. I remember when Matthias started. Back then, I used to work as a programmer. So I did some programming on World in
Good.
Conflict.
That's good to know. All right.
Together with me.
Yeah, we did some features together.
There you go. Well, confirmed. Peter, game director, was also a programmer. All right. Nice. A natural transition, I think. All right. Very good stuff. All right. I need to have a look at what some of the... We got good stuff. We got a lot of good stuff. Actually, I got to show you guys this. Gabe, who works on our team, wrote inspirational messages for me.
Oh.
On
Oh,
there you go. Isn't that
nice.
cute?
Yeah, that's cute.
Isn't that cute?
You're the best.
This one, you're the best. Reach for the moon. The start of an epic journey. Gabe. Gabe, I love you, dude.
Good
That's
work,
fantastic. Gabe. That's very, very good. I looked before at how many people were in chat. Big mistake. Big mistake. I'm like freaking out. There were a lot of people.
5 people?
Yeah, there's like
5.
20 people.
Wow.
I know. It's I can't handle it. Anyway, I promise we'll get to the good stuff. Let's go to that. Incursions. Let's start off with the thing that people are wanting to know about, because our update is called 1.1 incursions. That's the big thing. For people who have never ever, I don't know, even experienced the Division game, haven't got to level 30, don't know anything. How would you explain incursions to them, Peter?
So first of all, it's a free update. It's for everyone. All of you who's watching, it's for you. In Incursions, we're both adding some new features, and we're also adding some activities. For example, we're adding something that's much harder than the challenge modes. A real challenge for real good groups with good gear.
Okay. So very, very difficult.
Very difficult.
Okay. we'll get into more.
So let me tell you, we did some playtest in the user test lab.
Nice.
It was really hard, so we made it harder.
That was the conclusion.
Yeah.
Very hard.
All right, we're going to go pretty in-depth on incursions very soon, and we actually have footage of that I managed to dig out, so people can actually see our first incursions on here. Not live gameplay, because I don't have the means to do that right now, but we have video footage of Falcon Lost, our very first incursion, so that's super cool. Why should people be excited about incursions, Matthias?
I think, first of all, they get to play something that really challenges them even further as a group, where group coordination is even more important. They get to experience some new things.
Okay, we got to be a little. Okay, here's a little bit of a disclaimer.
Yeah.
Some of the things we can't tell you about the incursion because we don't want to give away the strategy.
No.
Because it's going to be very technical. There's a lot you need to do, but we'll give you as much as we can. But so when we say there are things, that's because there are some surprises in there as well.
Some new unique ingredients. And
Good.
also, as Petter said, you're going to be able to get even better rewards.
Okay.
Gear that is better than you can find in game anywhere today.
And weapons.
And weapons.
Nice. We actually have some interesting things about the gear coming up very, very soon. But before we get to that, how do you feel that... So people who have been playing the game... It's only been 3 weeks since the game has been out. It's been like, what? What's the date today? 31st.
31st.
Yeah.
So it's been just over... It's been 3 weeks yesterday. Or the day before. Anyway, 3 weeks. People who have hit level 30 and doing the challenge modes and stuff, how does incursions change the end game for them?
They absolutely need to find really good people to play with. So you can't really play with anyone. Instead, you need to find a good group and have a solid tactics.
So if I roll in there with everyone who has the same loadout, and we're not really thinking about synergy and stuff. We have good gear, admittedly good gear that we found. Is that enough?
Do not expect it to beat it on the first try or the second
or the 10th.
In your case, the 10th. Right. This is the thing. People think because we play on the stream a lot. And they're like, you guys are developers. Why do you suck at your game? And I'm like, yeah, I mean, it doesn't make it...
We don't suck. It's just that they are so much better.
Well, that's
what I like to say as well.
You make me feel good about myself, Matthias. I'm admittedly very much a potato on console and not much better on PC. But that's a good way to put it. I'm going to use that in the future. There are some people out there who are fantastic at our game.
They are,
good quote.
Yeah. All right. Oh, okay. Now I don't feel so bad. All right. Let's get into. I guess this is actually going to be the first video clip that we've shown in this stream. Unless did we take a look at those concept art? I didn't see. All right. Let's have a look at those now. Those are really, really cool. Alexander Tingluff, who works upstairs, has created these awesome pieces of concept art. This first one is really cool. You guys can take a little look at this. That's what the inside of Falcon Lost will look like. And we'll get into the story as to what people are looking at later on. Because right now, they don't know really what they're looking at, I guess.
Yeah, it's a huge space and lots of interesting possibilities for tactics and where to move, where to sit, where to go.
I'm quite glad that we don't talk about it too much right now because we have a lot of footage coming up. Some of the interesting things in the next piece of concept art we are going to look at. And people who paid attention to the year one plan trailer, I don't know if you saw that.
Yeah.
But there are glimpses. You saw it? I hope you saw it.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. They would have noticed there was a little thing in there, and you saw a vehicle, right? So people are like, oh, this is in the incursions. There's a vehicle, right? So this next piece of concept art kind of gives a little bit of a flavor as to what that might start to look like. Kevin, could you just bring it? Yeah, this is the one. The LMB. So we didn't even say that it's LMB yet.
It's LMB. It's the hardest ones.
Yep.
The Last Man Battalion. And we're going to go into the story. I tell you, I actually interviewed Noel Walling, our senior narrative designer. So he's got some interesting things that he told me about this, and I'll get to that when we go in depth on Falcon Lost in just a little bit. But we're going to talk about the features that are coming in this update a little bit before we get to that. The next thing I actually have on the lineup, gear sets. The first time people get to look at gear sets, which I'm really excited about because I'm a huge RPG gamer, collecting things, and especially with my OCD, wanting things to be all lined up. I want the whole set, guys, so I'm glad that you guys are putting this in. All right, what can you tell me about gear sets?
Me? It's so fun. We played with gear sets
I know how much you
yesterday.
love them. Yeah.
I really love them. So depending on your play style, we have created for 1.1, we have 4 different gear sets. If you collect 4 of them and equip them, you get a really powerful talent.
All right, don't tell them what it is.
Okay.
Okay. No, there are powerful talents, and I've purposely made it in this footage that people are looking at now so you can't see the talents, because we're going to reveal those very soon. I'll have to ask Yannick when we're going to get that information out to you. But there are very, very powerful talents when you fulfill certain requirements on these gear sets, correct?
And set bonuses on the way. So you will need to equip a certain number of items from the same set to activate these bonuses. But the big one is to reach the talent.
Yeah, because they provide talents we've never seen before, correct?
Yep. Purpose built for the sets.
Purpose built. Okay. All right. Again, we probably don't want to go too much in detail on exactly what those do, but they are very different from what we've seen in terms of talents on weapons.
Yeah. And they kind of changes the way you play the game as well, especially in the group. If everyone has different gear sets, it completely changes how you play.
All right. That's a bit of a tease, but I like it. I actually don't even know what all the talents do, so I'm not purposely not trying to tell you. I actually don't know. I mean, you guys know. You guys made this stuff.
Yeah,
so.
but
it's my fault. I'm sorry, chat. I made sure that these guys don't tell you everything. So we're gonna have more information for you coming very soon on that. But again, that was the first look at gear sets. So with the gear sets, how do people get these?
They're of course quite rare. in terms
Good.
of
That's good.
acquiring them, rare
Mhm.
or tough, depending
Okay.
on how you want to view it. You will, of course, get them from playing the incursion.
Okay.
There's also, I think we can say, a gear set that is very, I would say, useful for Dark Zone that you also
Mm.
get primarily from the Dark Zone.
Okay.
Yeah. So
There you go.
there's not one single way to get all the pieces for all the gear sets. So you're gonna have to spread your.
I think we can. I mean, we won't go into detail onto what
Yeah.
that set is, but that set you're talking about is called Path of the Nomad.
Yes.
Correct. The Dark Zone set. Well, it's not. Yeah, it's the one that is linked to the Dark Zone experience.
Exactly.
There are 3 other ones. What could you say about those? How do those sets differ? Those
So-
other 3. I have the names of them. Wait, I'm going to test you. Can you remember the names of the sets?
Wow, maybe. I think so.
All right,
I
I'm
think
going to. Okay. What are they? I'm going to test you.
Wow.
3
Sentry's
sets.
Call.
Sorry?
Tactician's Authority.
Yes. And you said.
Sentry's Call.
What's the other one?
Strikers. Battle
Battle Gear.
Yes. Well done.
Yep.
They passed. Nice. Good job, guys.
Thank you.
I feel good about this. You guys can
Yeah.
keep your jobs. Oh my
Nice.
god.
Thanks.
All right. Let's actually start with Sentry's Call. What in particular does that? Who is it tailored towards?
Sentry's Call
That's
is
the-
tailored towards people who like to be precise.
Okay.
Marksmen.
So our long
Marksman
range
style,
our
yeah.
long range guys.
Yeah.
We won't talk about the talent, but what kind of stats would we see on Sentry's Call? Like, are they looking for optimal range? What kind of things do we get if we go
think
towards
you-
Sentry's Call?
It promotes precision.
Okay, so accuracy
Consistent
and-
precision. Yeah.
Okay, that's cool.
Can say that much.
Yeah.
We can't go too much into that. But we have 2 more. Striker's Battle Gear.
Yeah.
I would assume this is for people who like taking a few hits.
No,
No?
this is the if I remember correctly, it's the more combat assault focused.
All right, I'm wrong.
Yeah.
Okay, that's good. All right, so tell me a little bit about Striker's Battle Gear
Ooh.
without spoiling the talent.
It's so hard
I
to talk
don't-
about them without spoiling
Yeah.
them.
Mhm.
How can I explain it without actually explaining the talent? That's the question.
Okay, let's stay away from it.
Okay.
But I know we can say a little bit about Tactician's Authority.
Mm.
Yeah, it's
That's-
for people like me that like to support their group.
Yeah.
Okay, so electronics stuff.
Yeah, electronics. If you like skills and maybe healing,
Okay,
it's pretty good.
nice. I like that. But in terms of collecting these, because it's different from the Path of the Nomad, like you said,
Yep.
and there are multiple pieces.
Yep.
How do we collect these 3 other sets?
So everyone will discover that you can't find all of the pieces in the same locations. So you need to go to different places to find them and do different things.
Okay, so you can find some of them in the incursion.
Yes,
Yes, but not all.
and challenge mode
And challenge modes.
and Dark Zone
All right.
and some blueprints.
Okay, and some blueprints. Okay, these blueprints. And I'm asking because I'm actually completely ignorant on this. So people who would think I'm fishing for things that I already know, I actually don't know what is happening with this. The blueprints.
Mhm.
How do I get those blueprints?
You buy them.
Okay, from. Can you tell me? Okay.
Nice.
All right. All right. No, that's.
So I think that's
Okay, that's
as
enough
far
on
as
that. All
we
right.
can go
Damn, I
today.
tried.
Yeah.
I tried. I'm sorry. Okay. So, what else did I want to ask about gear sets? Okay, no, actually, in this footage, people are also seeing gear score for the first time.
Right. Yes.
All right.
Yeah.
That is cool. So, item level, what's happening?
Yeah. I mean, I think if you play the games, you're used to seeing item level now.
Yes.
But at max level,
Mhm.
you are going to start being measured by gear score instead,
Okay.
like you've seen in other games out there, right?
Okay, so hang on one sec, just to clarify. Again, my ignorance. In this update that's coming out,
Yeah.
item level is there, it's hidden, it's gone, changed.
So at level 30, we're removing item level
Yes.
on the gear and we're replacing it with gear score.
Okay.
And
With
we
the
also
update
won't
comes.
really. I mean, if you look in, I think you'll see it in the footage from the incursion as well. In your group frame down to the right, when you're playing with a group, you're going to see your team members' gear score rather than their actual player level, since that
Okay.
stops being, super relevant. You know that they're level 30, they're max level, but what's their gear score? And it's essentially calculated like getting gear equivalent
Mhm.
to levels higher than you can be. So it's like getting level 31 and 32 gear. And depending on that, plus the quality of the gear piece, we calculate the gear score. And then we take an
Well,
average
I
of that.
saw, and people would have seen in that video, we showed that the gear score between high ends and set items was, I think, 201, I don't know if that's going to be exactly the number that we have in the update, but those are similar in gear score number. But you talked a little bit earlier when I asked you that there is still a trade-off that you have.
Oh yeah, the gear sets they're like high-end items plus, so they're slightly more powerful, and you can of course get the set bonuses, building up towards getting the big powerful talent. The difference is that you of course have to equip a certain number of pieces from the set, but the difference from regular high-end items is that they don't have their own individual gear talent.
Okay, so you forego those talents on the high-end items.
That's a bit of a debate you have to have with yourself, the trade-off, like, okay, I'm going to sacrifice the gear talents on having regular high-end items to build towards the set bonuses.
Okay, that's cool. And for people who are like, oh, gear score, like you can falsely inflate your gear score, even if you have better gear, that is maybe, you might have a superior item that is technically better, and that you could equip, all sorts of things. You mentioned something earlier about how gear score is actually calculated. So for people who are trying to beat the system,
basically,
I think there's something in there.
I think
as well, right?
in that case, we need to mention also gear score recommendations and requirements.
Okay, how does that work?
We're basically for tough content in the game, like challenge mode and incursion, we have a recommended gear score where we say like, if you have this, you'll be fairly comfortable. But also for incursions, we have a required gear score, which basically says like, it protects you as a player in many ways. You won't matchmake with people who not really eligible for doing that content, etc. But we also actually check your inventory and look at
people who are trying to
what is your
sneak
actual
around.
potential best gear score.
All right. Yeah. So people who are like, I don't know, purposely dropping their gear score amount, like, I promised I was just running around and I have, 1 gear score or 20 gear score, and you've got all this amazing stuff in your inventory. It'll take into account that as well.
Yep.
Oh, okay. All right. Good. I like that. There's another thing that is coming in this update: trading. All right. I like this. People have a lot of questions about it
Sharing
because
is caring.
it's the kind of thing that there's been some contention over, and I understand why, because people want to earn their things and that. So how exactly will trading work in this update?
So we have discussed trading in the team for a long time, for a year or more. And then when we did the closed alpha and then closed beta and then open beta, we just realized that we need to have it. We want it. Community wants it.
Yeah, they've been asking for it as well.
So we started to investigate it and developing it. And basically, if me and Matthias is playing a group together and we kill a named boss or named enemy, and we get a good drop, then if I pick it up, it's for me. I pick it up. I can drop it on the ground and trade it to Matthias or anyone else who was in my group at the time and got, were in the area.
Okay. Is there a time limit on how long? Okay, all right, that would make sense.
So it's a 2 hour. So funny thing is we were trying a completely different feature yesterday. And then Matthias got a nice named weapon drop just in our play session.
The first encounter.
The first encounter that he could give me.
I noticed that you say named weapon drop, but you're not saying which named weapon. Is that because it was one that we haven't seen yet?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay. Okay.
Very good.
New named weapons confirmed. Sorry. Okay. Anyway, that's another whole thing. That wasn't where I was going with this. So anyway, tell your story. I was
It's done. It's done.
That was it.
I took it. I killed enemies. I was happy.
Okay. All right. That's a good story. Yeah, that's great. Because I had a similar situation in the Dark Zone the other day. One of the guys I was playing with, super geared. A Midas dropped. He didn't need it. But we're like, I could use that. How do I get it? And it's like, I can die. You can take it. It's not the most...
You don't have one yet?
I didn't.
Seriously?
I had a Victor, and the Midas is a little bit better. I now have an MP5, which rolled pretty good. So I'm kind of using that right now. But but that wasn't the most elegant solution. So I'm glad that we have something else coming.
Yep.
Although there are some restrictions on trading.
Yeah. So in the Dark Zone, you have to go to a gate to trade it to one of your team members.
Why?
We don't want you to just drop it on the ground when there's PvP around and things going on.
Okay.
So
there could be some weird stuff that happens there if you do that.
Trust us.
Could have people like sneaking around, like just waiting till you drop something. waiting like for hours. Oh, he's going to drop something. I promise. He's going to drop something. No. Okay. All right. So people are safe when they're trading.
Yeah.
As long as they're they're safe.
They're
Hang
safe.
on.
They're safe. There's no combat in the gates.
This is my ignorance. If I'm in a group with 4 people and I trust one person in the group, is it possible for any of those 3 other people to pick it up?
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
it is.
Be a little bit careful.
Yeah.
Okay. Maybe just if you do want to group with someone, if you're in a group with 4 people and you want to trade with one person, you only trust that person, just go in a group with them. That'll still work.
Yeah.
That will work.
All right. I just don't want people to have a situation where they're like, oh, someone hijacked my stuff. It's all right. You can get around that.
And also, if you're in a group and someone else picks it up, that's not the end.
So it's not bound
He
at that
can
point?
re-drop it.
Okay. So it still applies. The 2-hour timer still applies.
Yes.
in that case.
You can bounce it back and forth between the group that was together when you got the item for that duration of that time.
That's cool.
No problem.
That makes sense. We also have another feature, and I promise we're getting to this whole Falcon Lost thing very, very soon. I have a couple more things to talk about. Assignments is a new little thing coming in. We've got a little video clip of assignments as well, which we can look at while we talk about it. So they're going to have a new part of their map to look at, correct? All right. So we're going to look at this person going and doing an assignment. How are these assignments given? How do I find them? Where do I get them?
Well, they are weekly and daily, so
Okay.
they will just be there for you to.
Okay, I don't need to go to someone in the base of operations. It's going to be on my map already.
If you look in the mission overview tab that you saw in the video there, you will see the dailies available and the weeklies available, and you'll focus on completing them, and then you can track them, and you will have them in the mission.
All right. And so, what kind of need do you think these assignments fulfill? What do I get for completing these assignments? Why would I want to do one of these?
So basically, what you get is they're good time savers. You'll get Phoenix credits. You will get Division Tech. We're not talking more about Division Tech today, but I can just spoil that some of them will give Division Tech.
Okay.
And good rewards in general.
Okay. So you can get, Phoenix credits and these sorts of things. That's nice. I like that because some of them are going to be easier than doing a challenge mode, but you can still get some Phoenix credits.
Mm-hmm.
And, well, a lot of them are going to be easier than a challenge mode, of course.
Yes.
Like this one was 10 cleaners that you have to kill. You fulfill that.
Yeah, and they're Dark Zone themed, combat themed, or crafting themed.
Okay.
And the daily assignments are bite-sized.
Okay.
Whereas the weekly is a bigger laundry list of things to do.
So this is good because today I was setting up the whole stream thing. I had no time, but I maybe had 10 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
I could have jumped in, done that, gotten a few Phoenix credits. All right.
And they're not constructed as you have to do this activity. It's you have to achieve this goal. So they're activity agnostic in that sense. So you could like, okay, I'm gonna play a hard mode daily mission and do my daily assignment at the same time.
So you can be super efficient as well. So you're like, okay, I have all these things, so I can do these activities as well to kind of double down on doing that. All right, so okay, I'm going to do that for sure. All right, this one is very, very cool. Supply drops. All right, this is we talked a little bit about things that were coming to the Dark Zone that are going to change how the Dark Zone works. We obviously had the update which changed rogue status, and the changes have been really good. We talked about that on the State of the Game last time. People are spending double the time in the Dark Zone now that they were before that update, which is really, really cool. Supply drops are new mechanics.
Yeah.
What are supply drops?
So we're going to continue to add things to the Dark Zone
Yeah.
in every update. I can just say that. Start with that. And we're going to continue to monitor the game and do balancing changes and tweaks every week. So continue to expect that from us. The supply drops, it's basically a drop from the sky that happens roughly every hour in the Dark Zone. Different locations in the Dark Zone with really good rewards in them. Really good loot in them, but only the first that reaches the supply drop will get the reward.
Okay, so it's not like my group gets there and all 4 of us get a reward.
Yeah, your group gets it.
Oh, your group gets it.
Yeah, but
Okay,
if
because they
there's
could go really badly.
multiple groups going for it, only one group will get it.
Okay.
And they are protected by enemies.
They are protected by hard enemies as well.
Named enemies? I guess we can't confirm.
Tough enemies.
Tough enemies. Right. There's going to be enemies, so you're not going to be able to just walk in there by yourself, and well, unless you're up for that challenge. But yeah, okay. And then so you pick up the loot, and then what happens? Do I need to extract it or?
No, you don't need to extract this item. So if you get it,
This is the.
you
I see.
keep
I
it.
wasn't sure.
So
Again,
it's the first group to get it will keep it.
all right. I wasn't sure if that was changing because technically these supply drops aren't contaminated.
No.
No, they're dropped in from outside the contamination.
So you get it, pick it up, use it straight away.
Yeah.
All right. Safe.
Safe.
No, not going to drop it. No one can take it from you. It's yours. Okay. This is going to change a few things, I think.
It's going to change a lot. We've had a lot of fun with
Okay.
it in our playtests.
Very, very nice. What kind of things in your playtests? What have you seen happen that maybe you didn't think happened, or did you lose any friends, or what happened?
Yeah, I mean, we lose friends on a daily basis here when we test the game.
Yeah.
So yeah, that happened.
Okay. All right. We're going to get into Falcon Lost footage really, really soon. A last feature that I really, really like, and this one's kind of from the community as well, the spectator camera.
Oh yes.
So that's going to be in this update in 1.1. Yes. Okay. Good. All
If you
right.
say
Nodding
so.
heads. All right. It is? Okay. All right. So explain to me what this spectator cam does.
Basically, let's be honest, it was pretty boring being dead.
But yeah, being dead was kind of annoying.
And as the community very accurately pointed out as well,
Yeah.
and we completely agree. So it's going to give you the ability to follow your teammates while you're dead, and you can switch between them, jump around. You're stuck to their player character, but you're free to move around the camera and look around, and you're going to see your own death location and stuff like that. So.
That's cool. See, because I was watching a few people streaming it the other day, and they were dead, but they were still trying to provide tactical support to their team. But when you can only see the same thing the whole time, it wasn't really working. But this will give people, I mean, when they're dead, they're still maybe kind of useful.
Yeah,
So
no,
you
absolutely.
can tell people, I'm going to spot out some things that are happening for you. That could work. Okay, we're going to get to the Falcon Lost stuff in a quick moment. We're going to have a little break. Well, when I say break, we've got a funny community video that I'm going to introduce in a second. But what I did forget to mention is that we did announce the date on Twitter recently. So if you missed that news, it's going to be on the 12th. The 12th of April. Sorry, Goth. I said that, he's not going to be happy. Anyway, I'm sorry, dude. The 12th. That's not long to wait. 12, 13 days from now.
Yep.
Looking forward to it.
Yeah,
me
indeed.
too. But since the community is a huge part of the game, and I'm so glad the game is out because they're making crazy stuff.
Yeah, fantastic.
It's amazing environment videos, reviews, and all the crazy happenings that happen in the Dark Zone. But this one is really, really funny. We found one from a guy called Hambledurgers, which is, I love the name. But there's this video called The Motivator. I found it funny. I found it really, really funny. The song makes it funny for me. I apologize if people don't find it funny. This always happens when I say, this is really hilarious, and then people are like, I hope you find it funny. This is The Motivator from Hambledurgers. Take a look.
Good job! Good job! Good job! Hooray! Are you ready? Yes! Are you ready? Yes! Clap your hands and dance! Wow! Move like this! Wow! Yippee! Move like this! Wow! Yippee! The world is a rainbow with many kinds of people. We are all friends. Let's go into the world. Go into the world together. Let's have fun. Are you ready? Yes. Here we go. Whee! Good job. Good job. Good job. Hooray!
Way to go there. Gonna be a lot cooler on the streets now.
Nice. Okay, we don't have audio for that video here in the room, so I don't know if these two found it that hilarious, but I'm going to send it to you guys later. I hope chat found it funny. I did just make the mistake of looking at how many people are watching.
Yeah.
It's like 60,000, which...
Nice.
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 Now I'm not... I think that was a mistake. Now I'm like, oh my god. Okay. Hi. Thanks for tuning in. We're talking about the big update 1.1 incursions for the Division coming on the 12th of April. 12th of April. I lose
Less than 2 weeks.
Yeah, less than 2 weeks. Let's take a look actually at the first footage that anyone outside of Massive, or actually outside of Ubisoft, that has seen of Falcon Lost. We're going to hang out and talk about incursions for you, but let's take a look at how this incursion starts. Because I think it's kind of important. It's actually underground. I don't know if we said that. We showed the room from the concept art, but we didn't say that this is underground.
Yeah, it's underground. You start by going down into the sewers, and that then leads into the big room.
Yes, the big room being part of... so I told you I talked to Noel on the narrative side. This is a water treatment facility, which is obviously pretty important for a New York that is kind of struggling.
Yeah.
Water treatment, things are going to go pretty bad if you don't have water treatment, right? It's going to smell bad, it's going to be super unhealthy, but the LMB have kind of figured that whole thing out. They're like, okay, if we're going to retreat somewhere, let's go to this place. Because, one, it makes it very hard for us to be attacked. Two, it makes it a really bad idea to bomb it. You can't obviously do a huge explosive strike because, you know, you're going to cause a huge mess, and you need this place. So that was on the narrative side. How involved have you guys been with this incursion specifically?
So this incursion has been made in Annecy
Yeah.
by the part of our team in Annecy. They have done a fantastic job,
Yeah.
and they have done most of the development for it. We have discussed it in the beginning. We have discussed it throughout the development of the incursion. We have play tested it. And we have worked a lot with them.
Yeah. Yeah, that's really cool. Yeah, I spoke to Matthias Duclos. I'm sorry if I'm saying his name wrong. My bad. My pronunciation is terrible on these things. Who's the project manager over in Annecy. And so these guys worked on some of the missions that people are obviously familiar with from the game right now. So it's Police Academy, Lincoln Tunnel, I have the other one written down here, and Lexington as well. Which are all super awesome missions. So for what he was telling me, they've learnt a lot from making these missions, and this is like the next level.
Yeah, also done many of the challenge modes we have.
Yeah.
So they have a lot of lessons learned, and we have a lot of lessons learned here as well.
They also, I mean, this is not really focusing on the Falcon Lost thing, but they are in charge of all the living world systems like wildlife and the base of operations, people hanging out. So you can blame them for the pooping dog, I think. Is that that's probably Annecy?
Yeah.
So I wouldn't say blame them. You can
It's
thank
authentic.
them. You
Dogs
can
need
thank
to
them
poop.
for the dog that poops, as well as such personalities as the guy that cries a lot, the guy with the back pain. All of these people are Annecy's beautiful creations.
Yeah.
I love that. So in terms of the narrative focus, when I was speaking with Noel, this is really interesting. So I asked him what was going on here. Obviously, okay, this is a spoiler warning. I'm gonna give people 10 seconds before we really go to the next step. But Colonel Bliss is dead. What? I'm sorry.
No.
So
Bliss.
I know. He seemed like such a nice guy. No, not really. But so if you've played through the whole game, you know this already. If you haven't, I gave you warnings just now and at the start of the stream. Okay, we're good. Colonel Bliss is dead. The LMB still lives. There's a guy called Captain Perez, from what I'm told, who is trying to rally the whole LMB and make sure that they still have relevance and can keep control of New York City. So again, tactically they go down to this area, and it seems like a good decision. But your mission is to go in and remove them surgically, because explosions are probably not so good, although there are some minor explosions. Not like nukes, but anyway, you'll see some explosions soon.
There'll be explosions.
There'll be
A
explosions.
lot of explosions.
Yeah. Okay. So you probably want to keep those explosions to a minimum, but they happen. they happen. As you can see here, we're starting to go inside the stronghold of the LMB. Okay, so some of the things that were really interesting in that conversation I had with Noel was that there's Captain Perez, obviously, who's talking a lot to the rest of the LMB, a lot of his subordinates, and they recorded so much VO for this and all of these interactions that people are going to have a different experience each time they play this from the VO perspective, which is really, really cool. They actually have a node graph set up for all the again, my ignorance, I hope I'm explaining this correctly, but it's all done in Engine to randomize the discussions. And there's a logic behind these conversations that Perez is having with his subordinates, which is super cool. So every time you go in, you're not going to have a situation where you go in and it's, oh, this is the VO version A and then VO version B, and I know exactly what's going to happen, right? So you're going to have a conversation that is different every time. And, fun fact, oh, we haven't revealed this. There are 2 difficulties.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. We glossed over that. Incursions have 2 difficulties.
So they have hard mode.
Yes, let's go on that for a bit.
And hard mode is really hard. So hard mode, it's truly hard for the incursions.
It starts on hard mode, we should say.
Starts on hard mode. Hard mode is the easiest that you'll get.
Yeah, and I don't think anyone should go into the incursion unless they have roughly level 31 in today, 31 high-end gear.
Okay.
That's sort of what you need.
So you need to be pretty up there. Just for the hard mode.
Yeah, that's for the hard mode.
All right. And then there's incursions on challenging mode as well.
Yeah, and for the challenge mode, I recommend people to get the new gear sets before trying the challenge mode. It's really, really hard.
The challenge mode.
Yeah.
Okay. We talked a little bit about it before. I haven't personally played any incursion stuff. Matthias, you've played it a little bit. Peter, you've played it a little bit more from what I hear. Matthias, how did your run-in with incursions go when you played?
It was brutal.
Yeah.
I actually haven't beaten it myself.
Yeah?
No.
Actually, in the footage that I have,
Yeah.
the people did not beat it. They got maybe like 2/3 at best. So it's really hard.
Yeah, it is. No, and you really need to be on your toes. You need to play as a group, as we said earlier. Balance each other out.
It's brutal.
Yeah,
That's cool.
play synergies, and also, I mean, it requires a higher degree of focus, I would say, than playing challenge mode even, and you need to maintain that focus for a long time. So it's a dexterity and mental challenge
Nice.
to do it. Absolutely.
It sounds like communication is going to be really important.
Yeah.
You've played. Did you ever beat it, Peter? On hard mode?
On hard mode, yeah.
Hard mode, you beat it. Okay.
Yeah, I beat it on hard mode. Very, very hard.
Yeah.
So since I could beat it, we made it harder.
Yeah.
As I said.
Yeah. It's if Peter can beat it, it's not hard.
Then it's probably too easy for
Probably too
all of
easy.
you
Yeah,
watching.
that's true.
And for challenge mode, we suspected for a while that nobody could beat it. So we had a team from QC.
Okay. And QC guys, I talk about the QC guys on stream a lot.
Yeah.
These are the best people in the building in Ubisoft to play our game. They are beasts at our game. What happened?
Yeah, they played for a couple of days before they beat it.
Okay. Took them a couple of days.
Yeah.
And then we're talking full work days, like only playing.
Yeah. So a couple of
Yeah.
long work days in there. Okay. That's scary. And apparently it's harder now than then.
Maybe.
Maybe? Okay. I'm kind of scared, or
I have to say it's loads of fun to play.
Okay.
If you like a good challenge, it's super fun.
yeah. And don't get me wrong, there are a bunch of talented, crazy gamers out there who will, again, beat it a lot faster than I do.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
But this is good for the gamers out there. There's a lot of people who are gonna have
And as we said,
great challenge,
You
because
also
it's
get
cool.
handsomely rewarded for doing so. So
exactly. All right.
it's worth it.
That's totally worth it. All right. So this is the first incursion. There will be more. We're not going to go into those, but there's
always more.
There's always more.
Yeah.
All right. One of the other interesting points that I had with Noel, obviously you get different conversations on the VO side, but for people who really pay attention to the world in this update, including information that you will find out through those conversations in this mission, there's some more story happening in there, which I don't know. Maybe you guys don't even know about it. Maybe I got the inside scoop. But if people are paying attention to what's happening in this update, you will start to get a bit of a feel of what's happening in the world. So I'm excited about that. Again, no spoilers, but there are some really, really cool things happening in there. The other question that comes up a lot when we're talking about incursions is, and I kind of touched on it a little bit before, is how important is it that when I do get a group for it, that we change our loadouts, we look at synergies and those sorts of things. Like, for example, if we all run in with the same loadout and all the same skills, are we going to be okay? I don't know.
No.
Okay. All right. So
that's probably the simplest answer. You're probably not going to be okay. You need to find a group where you have good synergies between your different play styles, and some people can maybe focus on some specific areas.
You're gonna have to be able to execute disruption, crowd control, healing.
All right. So
burst, absolutely.
You probably want someone in the that might be you, Peter, as well, because I know you focus on electronics and things. Do you were saying you like to heal? Do you ever do any builds that focus on crowd control, those sorts of things?
Yeah, absolutely. I do that as well. I have different characters. So
okay. All right. From a crowd control perspective, if people are looking at getting into that style of gameplay, what kind of skills should they be looking at?
My personal favorite playing difficult stuff in a group for me is typically roll assault rifle, not SMG, and DMRs.
Okay. In terms of skills, what are you looking at?
And then I have the flashbang modded sticky bomb, which is a big, nice crowd control,
a lot,
and a flame turret.
Yes.
And then you can wreak havoc and expose targets.
Yeah. I'm just trying to think of ways.
And then don't forget your grenades.
No,
yes.
The grenades are
super important.
I always forget
for all CC builds.
I always forget to drink my water.
Yeah.
And your consumables.
Water's always a problem for me. I always forget, and the bullets. Yeah, always a problem. So I would actually recommend people, if you're getting out there into challenge modes right now, try and think about how you're playing them, because that strategy that you can apply to challenge modes. Because right now, maybe you can complete challenge modes, but I would practice.
Yeah.
I would practice challenge modes and try and be as efficient as possible, because a lot of people, obviously, they're trying to up their DPS, which is great, in terms of numbers. They're trying to up their health in terms of numbers, which is really good too. But if you can't apply that DPS to people, enemies, baddies, then it really means nothing. So,
I mean, you're not going to be able to just pick a spot on Turtle in Falcon Lost.
Yes, that's the interesting thing. Actually, people are kind of seeing this room right now. It's a little bit different. You can't sit in the corner. And again, there are new mechanics in here at play. And we won't go too in depth on this because I don't want to give away any strategies that are going to, people need to discover this on their own. We're not going to.
Hey, it's most fun.
I think that's fair. But there are some drones in here, in this footage. I don't know if they've popped up yet, but they will. That provides a whole new level of interaction with the player in terms of positioning and these sorts of things. Again, I'm not going to tell you what to do. I spoke to Matthias, other Matthias, not you, about this, and he was like, you do this, you need to do this, you need to prioritize this, and these sorts of things. And I was like, okay, great. I've got the information. I'm not giving that to you, but it's different from what people have experienced before.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, unless you've been shooting a lot of birds.
Then you're a monster.
Out and about in New York.
No,
it's the first enemies in the game that challenge you vertically without being tied to a physical position somewhere.
That's true. And when you think about it, they're not bound by covers, so they have complete 360.
And fairly small. Yeah.
Yes. But they're going to provide a definite new challenge. Yannick actually passed me a couple of good questions from chat. The chat was going so quickly that we couldn't keep up or get the names of the people. But whoever asked these, he's got more for me. Fantastic. Wow. Let's go through these. So people were asking, can we matchmake for incursions?
Absolutely.
Yes, we can. But there's a requirement for the challenge mode.
Okay.
So a gear score requirement, so you don't end up with players that don't have the gear that you need to be able to beat it.
So Incursions challenge mode has a gear score requirement to matchmake. Incursions hard mode does not.
It has a recommended.
Okay, recommended and required. Okay, that's good to know. Are there checkpoints during the incursion? Oh, I don't know.
There is no checkpoint.
Okay, so if you
Once the-
fail, what happens?
Then you need to start over.
Okay, that's hardcore. That's awesome. I love that. What rewards? Yannick, you're
Dr.
writing. No, I got
Yeah.
this. I got this. What rewards from beating the? What are the rewards for beating the incursion? Because you know how for challenge modes you get certain things. You get like a high end something, and in the incursion, what do you get for beating it?
There might be a nice gun.
Ooh, okay. So we talked a little bit about that
You
before.
could get some gear set pieces.
Okay, gear set pieces. There are new high end weapons. Can we?
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. We're not going to say what they are.
No.
I'll ask you that later,
Yeah.
and then you can tell me. And all right, okay, that's cool. Are incursions daily or repeatable? How often can I do incursions?
So you
what's
can
that like?
do incursions as much as you want to.
Okay.
You will get a good reward every time.
Yep.
However, the first time you do it during the week, you get a better reward
Okay,
for
so
that time.
okay, so there's a weekly reward
Yeah.
reset, but you can do it as many times as you want, and you get a lower reward.
But it's
Yes.
not that you get nothing. You just get even more if you do the weekly.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. That is nice. All right. Keep throwing questions at Yannick. Oh, well, okay. Sorry, Yannick. I know chat's already going absolutely crazy, but if we get some more questions that we can look at, I'll bring those up. Okay. I've got to be careful here. What was I going to say? I had to be rude. What is the agent's goal in Falcon Lost? Without spoiling anything. What is it? That's kind of hard because we know that there's an APC in there.
Surviving.
I
don't
was about
die.
to say surviving as well.
Yeah.
So the NPC is special because you can't really destroy it by shooting at it. So you need to find another strategy or.
Okay. We kind of alluded to that a little bit because I didn't want to spoil exactly what that strategy is, but there is a strategy.
Yeah.
Strategy is confirmed. All right.
Many different strategies.
Okay. Not just one. So you can. There are different ways that you can take out this boss, or different things you have to take into account. All right.
Something like that.
Okay. Okay. Again. Yeah. Let's not spoil that too much.
Don't just rely on your guns and your skills.
Okay.
To kill it.
Okay. I'm trying to figure out exactly what that means. What is your favorite thing about this incursion? This is a nice one. Why do you think it's so cool that we are putting this incursion out to people?
I really like it because of the group coordination that's required to do it. We're sort of showing our intent with the coming incursions, with this incursion, how we want more and more coordination between group members, that it's not all about how good your gear is. It's also about your player skill and coordination with other players and how your loadout is compared to your team members' loadout. That's what I like.
Okay, that's good.
Also, a completely new location you've never seen before.
Yes.
I think is really cool. Being underground is cool.
Yeah, I like underground.
And new actual unique ingredients in the fight.
All right, we got more Yannick questions, people. This is
Nice.
good. Oh, they just seem to like fly in from off screen. It's fantastic. I love it. Will future incursions have different mechanics?
Yes. Is the simple answer to that.
All right. Have you? Okay. We're not going to spoil it. Have you played any of the other incursions?
Yes.
We have.
All right.
We have.
Okay, people can't see it, but you are grinning wildly. All right.
Yeah. Lots
again,
of fun.
we'll do future streams about what these other incursions are, but we're going to leave those those for now. I'm not sure how far along our video is in terms of time. We may be running out. I'm enjoying this a lot though, so I kind of want to stick around and grill you guys as long as I can. Just let me check your watch here.
So basically, there will be more incursions, new mechanics, complex mechanics, different factions.
Yeah. We want you to experience something new with every new incursion, and with new, it's not just a new location. It's like something new to the mix, some new spice.
Okay,
Yeah.
spice. All right, I like that. That's cool. There's another question here, and we may have time for a couple more, but I know it's already 9
You're
o'clock
looking
here.
at my
Yeah, I was
watch?
looking at your watch. It's a very nice watch. We're actually over time, but I'm still going to throw a few more questions at you. Are sets only dropped in challenge mode?
No.
No.
Okay.
You.
That's
they
an
not-
extensive answer.
Okay.
We're Swedes.
No.
We're sorry.
Nej. Nej, det ska inte.
Nej.
Nej. Okay.
Nej, det är de inte.
Okay.
No, you can get them. I would say the most predictable way of getting gear set pieces is from the incursions, but
Okay.
you can get them from, as we said, there's one that you actually can't get from the incursions at all.
Okay.
That's primarily from the dark zone.
Okay.
You can get it from challenge mode,
Mhm.
gear set pieces, and also blueprints.
Okay. Is there a difference? And this is a follow-up from my brain. Is there a difference in chance to drop the set pieces between hard and challenge mode? Say if I want to get a specific gear piece, am I going to have a higher chance if I do the challenge mode incursion?
Challenge mode is going to be the surefire way of getting
Okay.
gear set pieces. Yeah.
All right. Okay. So if I really want to do it and I can
Yeah.
achieve this challenge
But
mode,
as we
that's
said
probably
earlier,
the
there's
better way
not
to
going to be that one thing you can just repeat and repeat and repeat, and you will
No,
get
no, no,
all the
exactly.
gear set pieces that we release in 1.1. You're going to have to diversify.
Yannick's writing me weird messages. He says, "My handwriting is okay. I blame your eyes." Okay. Okay. Fine. You're doing this next time, man. All right. Will this update make the current gear obsolete? Or is there gear that you can find now which you could still make use of?
So there's still a choice you have if you want to have the gear set pieces or some off items with the high-end items that we have now.
Mhm.
You always have that choice because some of the talents that you have on the gear right now is really good.
Yeah, there's a huge range. So on
Yeah.
like obviously a lot of people are experimenting with a lot of those high-end weapons now, and you can get a huge variation. Like you can get an MP5 with talents that don't work for an MP5, like Provident. And well, I know some people were raging about that before. I got a pretty good MP5 roll, which had 2 of the 3 that you want, which I think is like Deadly, Vicious, and Brutal or Fierce. I can't remember. And then I got Meticulous, so 2 out of 3 is not bad, but the variation is huge. So if you get a really good roll on some of these items, I think they'll hold it down for quite a while.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, and this is a nice question, and I think we're going to make this the last one, unless Yannick, you have a few more. All right, we're good. This is the last one because we should go home and sleep and eat and then get back to work.
No, we should play.
We should play.
Do
I
you
haven't done my dailies today, so I'm going to stay up and do that. Can you get weekly rewards with multiple characters? The weekly.
can.
Okay,
You
so
can.
you could potentially get the weekly reward 4 times.
Yes,
Okay,
if you're so inclined.
or you could get it 12 times if you play on all 3 platforms.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you happened to have the time to do it on Xbox One,
Yeah.
PS4, and PC.
And if you do it simultaneously, we'll be really impressed.
Yeah, just
Yeah.
just do both hands. All right, that's all I've got. I hope I got some good information out of you guys. Thanks everyone for tuning into the stream. The update is on April 12th, so not far away. Less than 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Okay.
Super
so
exciting. Super
Very,
exciting.
very
Again,
cool.
what I think you should do, go into challenge modes if you're at that point, or get up to that point if you're not. Practice synergies with your team and all of that. I'm gonna go and change my loadout and
And
optimize
thanks for
some
all
things.
your feedback, as usual.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
You're
want to
awesome.
mention that.
Yeah.
Please write your feedback on the forums and on Reddit.
Yeah.
We
read it. Trust
we
us.
read it.
Read it.
Yeah.
I read all the Reddit threads. I look them through. Look all the videos that are linked.
Yeah.
Nice. I always say on the stream that their feedback is so important. And again, a lot of these features have come from all these awesome threads from on the suggestions and feedback part of our forum. That's really great. If you have things or ideas or creative solutions to the problems that you think are in our game, or you just have new ideas or whatever, just throw them at us on the suggestions and feedback part of our forum.
It's fantastic.
Always really, really good. Oh, I forgot one thing, and someone's gonna tweet at me later to say, dude, why did that guy have a backpack with 500 slots in it?
Yeah, why?
It was a dev
Yeah.
build. People, All right.
How do you even get
no.
We're sorry.
500
Okay.
slots?
500 slot backpacks are not confirmed. Can we just say that? That's the one point that I want to get across today. 500 slot backpacks do not exist.
Not confirmed.
Not confirmed.
Not confirmed. Okay, there's going to be a Reddit thread about it already. It doesn't exist. Okay. All right. We're good. All right. We're going to end it there, people. Thanks for tuning in. You can always find us on our Twitter. You also have Facebook as well, which we post a lot of stuff on. And actually, during this week, the Division game on Twitter is going to have some information. Yannick? We're going to be releasing a lot of information this week, yes? Next week. Not this week. Next week. But between now and the Incursion release, there's still more to come. I have a podcast that I recorded with you, Matthias.
Oh yeah.
And Andromeda as well. So
That's
there's even more in there than what we covered here. So, right. That's going to come out. So follow us on Twitter. You'll get information that way. And also the Division game on Twitch. If you're following, you're in the right place. We're going to make sure that you get the news here first as often as you can. But that's it from us tonight.
Yes.
All right. We're going to have to do this
Okay.
again soon. Guys, that was fun.
It was.
Yeah.
All right.
Thank you.
Super fun.
And thank you.
See you later,
Wherever you
everyone.
are.
Bye.
Take it easy.
I don't know. Bye.
Just keep waving. It's fine.